Hi, everybody. It's Laura from Sheer Passion. Thanks so much for tuning in. So, today is the first day of school. And there were so many thoughts running through my head, and I wanted to share this with you. This has really been on my heart. If you've been watching my videos, you know that I am a proud stepmom and that I have this wonderful stepson named Logan. And one of the things that I like to talk to him about are all of my struggles that I had when I was a young girl. Being overweight and coming from a family where I did not have female role models for me, but I was given the opportunity to choose Jesus and understand where faith comes from. So often on my videos, I hope you don't misunderstand my deep thinking. Faith is first before fellowship. So when we're choosing our faith and we're understanding that our Creator God sent His Son to die on the cross, we are accepting that faith starts there. Very much like our self-worth. Our self-worth is so important. It starts when we're born. And when we're born into families that are incapable of sharing how special we are and why we are set apart, struggle is not something that should surprise people who choose Jesus. Because the Bible clearly states that we are going to come up against the world because evil has a plan. The thing is, though, is that these types of words can a lot of times put fear and also make people very angry because that goes to a religious spirit that a lot of people don't want to talk about. But let me encourage you. Hear me out. Faith is something that genuinely changes the way you see yourself through the struggle. So I have not had a perfect life, and I absolutely am so thankful that the Lord has given me the strength to face the issues of weight and struggles in the family and dysfunction. And believe me, it was not an easy journey to stand up against the dysfunction that is in my family tree and has been for generations after generations. But one of the things that I want to share with you is that while we're preparing Logan to want to live with us full time, to set a place or an environment where his self-worth can be first, understanding that Joshua and I have had an opportunity to make the mistakes, and whether or not our parents ever set out to help us or to not help us, that ship has sailed, and we're adults. And so we share with this young man that we've already gone through the struggles of school, and we want to be here for him. So often Facebook has shown us how the world has changes, and just like these videos that I do, it's so funny. People know I don't like electronic devices, but I would love to share my thoughts. So this gives me an opportunity to get on here and just share my passion with the world, and even just get the energy out of my own body so I can place it somewhere else and feel like I am doing some good by sharing that you're not alone. My little guy has had 7 years of dealing with going back and forth in between two very different types of homes. And let me tell you, as women, you have to know we are the thing that can absolutely upset a family so quickly. If there is a woman in that house who is just not able to see her worth in the Lord and to get up and to understand that men are not here to tear down, to abuse, to expect money, to expect shelter. Yes, I think that God has created them and given them a leadership, that they are definitely our partner and our equal partner. And there are just a lot of men who love to be able to provide. But then there's women like me who are the opposite. And I would be considered the man in the relationship, the woman who is the bread earner and has her own business and can stand on her own 2 feet. And let me tell you, it has been an amazing gift to give my stepson, or my stand-in. I call him my stand-in son. I'm the stand-in mom. The ability to understand that his self-worth is first. Before he gets his clothes on, the way he picks out his clothing, the way he brushes his hair, the way he takes care of his skin, the way he remembers to put his deodorant on, the way that he makes his bed, the way that he prepares his lunch, is because, remember, before all of those things, before he gets on the bus, before he chooses his friends or who he sits with at the lunch table, before he decides what he's going to text or not text, he has to understand he is special and that his life is valuable and that he has an opportunity to change the world one person at a time, himself. First, he will choose himself to lead by example, that his life is not perfect and that he absolutely has struggles just like everybody else, because believing in God and allowing yourself to accept salvation has nothing to do with living a different life. It's about how you face the same struggles, how you go through them, and why you say no to certain temptations, like making fun of people in school and texting behind their backs and getting involved in bullying. So my challenge to him was, since he is just naturally handsome and he's got the world's best stylist, I'm a little biased, is that I want him to go and love on the people. And love is something that is a game changer to evil. You know, evil can't exist inside of a room that is full of love. It has nowhere to grow. It cannot fester. If our kids get on the bus or get dropped off to school remembering that they are so special and part of our society, they are a privilege to have in our home. It is our job to give them the ability to become the best adult they could possibly be. And the way that you prepare a child up is that you explain to them what they're going to go through because you've gone through it. You share with them exactly how you've struggled so they understand the struggle is real, that you do live through it. You do have to ask for forgiveness when you make mistakes, but that you have an opportunity to try again. And so when our children go to school, are they going to school to love on the less fortunate, the ones who aren't dressed well, the ones who don't have the friends, the people who are sitting by themselves, the overweight, the underweight, the stinky, the super popular, the kids who are punk and have stuff all over their face and just ooze, I'm in pain. You know, I reminded Logan that his pain is something that he can take to all of these other people. And it is so relative because pain in his little body and frustration in his little body is just like pain in my body and frustration in my body. It's the opposite of content and happiness. Of course you want to be able to work on that. While he's in school, walking down the hall, not knowing if he is fitting in, I'm reminding him, that's okay. That isn't the problem. The problem is teaching our children that it is a problem not to fit in, or that there is some kind of unspoken. How about, how did all of our kids end up at one school not fitting in with each other? They're all at the same location, learning the same things for the first time, needing the same amount of respect back and forth in the hallways, the bathrooms, the lunchroom, and gym class. The teachers are all needing our kids to be super respectful so they can listen to the things that they don't know they need yet. So how is it that there is this aura or this ambiance that people don't fit in? That's our problem, folks. And as adults, we really need to take responsibility for what we do to these children. Have you prepared your kids to know the exact place that they are at in their life? You've been there. Have you set out that red carpet for them to understand everything changing in their bodies sexually, emotionally, physically, and spiritually? You've gone through. You know, you need to share with them exactly how you've gone through those things so that they can understand how you got through it. Because you absolutely did not bypass it in society. I sure as heck have not looked like this my whole life. While my stepson may be going to school very handsome, does he feel handsome? The answer would be no. Even though his stand-in mom or his father can see that he is breathtakingly beautiful and so perfect, he struggles with, is he good looking? You know, I can relate to that. So it doesn't really matter. The struggle that our kids go through is something that we can relate to first. And we are to remind them that's okay. That's real life. I'm going to be here for you. You need to think the best about yourself because you are trying your best. And you know, as a stand-in mom, I want to tell you it has been such an honor to understand that when our kids are out there, they need our encouragement. The opportunity to explain my faith to my stepson is, he will go through the exact same things that I went through, and Jesus, while he will be protecting him, will not keep him from making mistakes. In God's sovereignty, he can do anything. But in my experience as a human being, relationships require both sides to be working. And if my stepson is in a relationship with God Most High, he's going to need to be bringing him into those difficult situations, or not at all. Like when I went to school and totally loved God, but found myself in situations like making fun, being made fun of, having a bad attitude, or giving a bad attitude. There are times where we struggle, and it wasn't my faith that was struggling, but it was my relationship with my faith and the relationships that surrounded me. So I want to thank you for sending your kids to school with a positive attitude. And I want to be there for our young people, and I want you to be encouraged that there are other moms and dads out there that recognize how difficult it is, and we are willing to stand up and speak. We also make sure that before our kids get on the bus, that it isn't about texting, and it isn't about Facebook, and it isn't about Twitter, and it's not about being popular. It's about being kind to yourself, loving your body fully, living in a healthy way so that your brain can truly operate. Take full responsibility and accountability for the words you say and the actions that you take, because you will be impacting somebody else's son or daughter to see God's love in a tangible way every minute of every day before they ever enter the door of a church. I just want to thank you so much. Thanks for tuning into my videos. It's been awesome. Thanks for listening to my thoughts. Comment. Thanks, guys. Bye.